Hello guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome to the channel. My name is Michelle Expert, and I hope that you're going to enjoy all the content that is on this channel and that is actually coming. If you're an oldie, a regular degular, welcome back. So as you can see by the title of the video, today I'm basically doing a self-expose sharing with you guys a couple of lessons that I learned from my recent failed business. So if you haven't been on my channel for quite a while, it is important that I actually update you or kind of give you a bit more information that over the past couple of years, I've started and run several businesses, and one of them is the recent one that I'm going to be talking about in this video, which is a beauty salon. Okay, so just to give you guys a bit of context regarding the beauty salon is I'd always had passion for beauty and hair, but from a business perspective, I was literally that child when I was in high school. I used to braid my sister's hair, I used to braid people's hair to make a little bit of money here and there, and it was something that I've always wanted to do for myself, more like a young childhood dream amongst all the other dreams that I have. And in 2020, I thought to myself, well, I was praying and I was getting ready for the new year and I wanted to do something new for myself, and then I decided to start the business. So I started in 2020 February. It's in February or March, I don't remember. February, I think. And then immediately after I started, 23 days later, COVID struck the world and South Africa was on total lockdown. This meant that we couldn't operate our salons and I basically had to shut down, okay? So with that happened, we would open every now and then after a couple of months when the lockdown restrictions and the levels went down a little bit and the numbers were down. The up and down that 2020 basically was. I was going through all of that with a very, very, very new business. And with a lot of other things, and I think a lot of other things that I could have actually done better, I had to shut the business down in 2021, beginning of the year. And it was one of those things I actually shared about on my Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, please go ahead and do so. And I shared about how hurtful it was because I was just like, I really wanted the business to work. I really saw quite a lot of potential, but there were so many things that were happening around the world. And I think that I also had to learn at that time, and that I didn't know at that time actually that, now when I look back, I'm like, oh, you know what, maybe if I tried to do this and this and this and bootstrap here, the business could have survived. But anyway, I'm really grateful that I am where I am right now. I'm grateful that a lot of opportunities that I have right now really found me, because then I got to invest that time into other things that I'm also very passionate about. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys these lessons that I have learned. And let me also say that it is very important that in anything that you go through in your life, it could be a relationship, it could be a business, it could be work, whatever it is, even if it doesn't work out, you really need to give yourself time to sit down, reflect, and look at the lessons that you've actually learned. That is very important because I think that it helps you not make the same mistakes in the future. And it also kind of helps you know where your areas of development are, right? So if you know that, okay, so this was my weakness here and this is something that I got wrong here, maybe me trying to work on this thing right now is going to be beneficial for the next step of my life. So this is one of the biggest things I had to do when I decided to shut down my business, and I think I'll do another video about this. But to give you a little brief, when I decided to shut down the business, my thing was like, okay, cool, so this business is not working out and we're bleeding a lot of money than we're actually getting, and we want to shut it down. But what are we going to take from that? In terms of time, I was putting X amount of time in the business. What am I now going to invest that time in? In terms of books and, just where my development, what are the areas that I need to develop, that I need to work on so that I can build my other businesses in a better way, build my social media platforms in a better way, okay? So that was a very important process to go through. But without actually taking a lot of time, let's actually get into the lessons. I wrote down quite a couple of notes here that I think are going to be super fruitful. So let's get to it. The first one is don't delegate too soon. This for me is very big, and this was a huge lesson. I'll tell you why. For somebody who's like me, right, I am a very busy person. I do like more than one thing, right? I was running the salon. I had an events company as well at the time. And I was also doing a lot of social media work as well. I was on YouTube, I was doing quite a number of things. And what ended up happening is to be able to split my time, I actually couldn't be there for such a long time. So I had to delegate for somebody to take care of certain and very important responsibilities of the business. And I say don't delegate too soon because I really do think that there's so much wisdom in you being able to be in your business long enough to be able to, implement things, see what works, see what does not work. Because that if you don't do that, it opens up space for people to steal from you, especially if you're in a cash business. Mainly because people can easily tell you a story that you're going to believe because you haven't been in your company long enough to actually know how that process actually works. So you're just like, oh, okay, no, I get it. You're not really in tune with the business. And I think that this becomes very important. You need to spend enough time at that business, in the business, within everything surrounding that business before you can delegate it, because the person that you're going to delegate those responsibilities to should not be telling you something new. They shouldn't tell you things that you're just like, oh my God, and then you just let them run because you obviously don't know and you've got a lot on your plate as well. So that for me is one of the biggest things. I'm like, this was a learning. Do you know enough about that particular business to be able to hand over to somebody? And should that person be sick today, right? Are you able to step in and do exactly what they're doing, or are you completely relying on them and how they have been doing things for your business, right? And I think there's a lot to say about you being able to get into a business that aligns with things that you want to do, number one. And also that is the business that you're willing to learn about. My intention was to obviously take a course, like a beauty course later within, the year to kind of get myself together, but it was late. Okay, I needed to have taken the course before I started the business or immediately when I started the business so that I would be able to learn more on how to run these things and how I can manage the finances of the business and delegating that to somebody because you feel like, okay, the business is good, is doing well, you literally stand the risk of not running a sustainable business. So that is very, very important. And then the second one that I'm going to share with you guys is put systems in place, okay? One thing that business taught me is to be a systems queen, right? So what are systems? The systems are procedures on how things actually work. So for instance, how do you take bookings in your salon? I'm going to use my salon because it's like the story that I'm sharing with you guys. So for instance, how do you take bookings in the salon? How do you record payment, right? What's the flow of communication? How do clients get hold of you? What is the stock taking process? What is the stock buying process? All of that stuff. You need to have those systems in place that actually flow and that ensure that the business runs. You can't just open up shop and then let things start happening and then start trying to tweak everything as time goes. You literally stand the risk of not succeeding because let's say you start a business today and you were hoping that you're going to make 400 Rand a day and then you make 4,000 Rand a day, right? Do you have systems in place that are going to be able to protect that money, protect the staff, make sure that you're not being cheated? All of that. You need to be able to do that. And for me, that's been so important. Systems on when your staff comes in to work. Systems on when they come in, what do they do? Do they clean around? Do they polish this? Do they fix that? How are appointments booked for the beauty bar? And that sort of thing. That is very, very important. And for me, that was a very, very, very big lesson because I felt like if I had tightened my systems a little bit more and had them to the core, I felt like I would have run a better ship for myself and I think for the people that were also working for me. So for me, that's a really, really, really big learning. You always need to put systems in place. And the honest truth, and what I'm also learning and uncovering about systems is that they are ever developing, right? You put a system today, it works for a week or two, and then the business upscales, then it doesn't work anymore. You need to change the system and. But as long as you've got a system, you are giving yourself the opportunity to actually work from somewhere, right? It's not just you haphazardly being shocked every time something new happens. Every time you get more clients than you anticipated, you're not being shocked, right? But you're running the business properly. So that is very, 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 very important. And then the third point is do not be scared to fail. The reason why I actually called this video Lessons from My Failed Business was mainly because sometimes we run away from this word and from this thing because it's got this negative connotation. We want to be so successful and so great at what we do, and we don't realize that sometimes failure is actually part of the process. And one of the things, I share this a lot when I do speaking engagements, and it's the fact that I'm not scared of failure. I mean, it does hurt and I'd ideally not like to, but I would rather stand the pain of failing than the pain of regretting not having done anything in the first place. Because I have a bigger chance of learning from failure than I do have from sitting, with the fear. So this is basically a hint, hint, nudge, nudge. If you've been wanting to start a channel, start a business, just do something for yourself in 2022, this is the time to go and stop letting failure just, get the best of you. Don't be scared of failure. It's inevitable. I've done multiple videos actually on this video talking about failure. It's inevitable. It is going to happen. And if you sit around feeling like if I start or if I do this, I'm going to fail, you're never going to be able to do anything. Because chances are you're going to fail. And chances are you're going to succeed. But how about we start entertaining the thought around what if it actually works out for me this time? What if I actually succeed at this thing that I want to do? And that's something that I really want you to start thinking and start working with in this new year. I was talking to my mentor quite a while ago, and one of the biggest things that he said to me was that it's very fascinating how a lot of entrepreneurs / a lot of people plan for failure more than they plan for success. So you'll create this business, create this side hustle, create this YouTube, and you will be thinking day and night of the possibility of its failure. But why don't you think of the possibility of its success? Because if it does succeed today, you're going to have to upscale. There's a lot of work you need to be able to be putting into it when it succeeds. But we don't think about those things. So what happens is, should you start without thinking that your business is going to succeed, right? Without even planning for that success of your business succeeds in a very short space period of time, and you become a one-hit wonder because you can't sustain that success and you can't actually grow from that point of success, of which a lot of people, like if you've read quite a lot of business books, they'll say that early success for a business or for somebody, you know, is really detrimental to them, and it really doesn't help, it doesn't benefit them, and it doesn't give them the sustainability because we don't prepare for success, right? So that's very important. You need to not be scared of failure, but always prepare yourself for it going either way. And in the nature of business side hustle and making money, things can go 50-50, to be very honest with you. And you just need to have a thick skin to run with it, because what's the worst that could happen? You could lose money, but you can also make more money, right? You can also make money by doing other things. So that's very important that you really, 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 really need to learn. A fourth point. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. It's have emotional intelligence, especially for women, because I think that sometimes as women, because we've got, you know, that very soft and feminine side, we can be very soft, we can be very smooth, and we can be a little bit too understanding. And what I've learned in business is that you literally need to put your foot down and be very firm and have emotional intelligence to know when sympathy is needed and when empathy is needed with your staff, with your suppliers, and with people around you, and not allow people to actually walk over you. That is important. And I also think that emotional intelligence really helps you protect your money, right? Because sometimes we can easily feel like, oh, you know, I need to be a nice person and not think about the money. Hi, bo, you're a business person. You're an entrepreneur. That's what you are. Okay, you're an entrepreneur. You need to make money. You need to make bottom line, and you need to make sure that you protect your money first. And I'm not saying don't care about people and just be, you know, a B word. No, I am saying that you need to be able to have the emotional intelligence to know when to be that person, when to be this person, and when to be this person. And that is very, very important. For me, it was such a big lesson, because I do remember in quite a number of incidences where I wasn't emotionally intelligent enough, that I actually let some of my staff members really get their way out of me, and it would disadvantage the business because I thought I was being a good person. But I'd end up being so unhappy with myself and so unhappy with the projections and where my business is going, because I'm just like, why does being a nice person not feel good? Why does being a nice person not helping me reach my goals? And you just realize that it's emotional intelligence that you need to know when and how to do it. And that's where leadership skills actually get in. So that is very, very important. Emotional intelligence is absolutely important. And I think this takes a lot of books. It takes speaking to a lot of people. And it takes having your head in the game, and having your head in the game to say that, yes, I wear all these different hats, but the most important hats that I wear right now in this company is being an entrepreneur and being a businesswoman. And I need to make sure that I get bottom line. So that for me was like a big lesson that I think I took that in like every area of my life. Like, just have emotional intelligence with anything that you do, mainly because yes, you will wear different hats, but you need the wisdom to know which hat to wear at what time, you know? So that was absolutely important. And then the last one, which also is very important, is set goals for your business. This is important, okay? I know that in this day and age, we can either stumble upon like going viral, or stumble upon a business where we just immediately start and we're running with it. But one of the things that I found that is very important is that even if you find yourself in something, you need to be able to sit down and project where you want to see it over time. this is something that I did, but I don't think I did it to the core, and I don't think I did it correctly. Okay. And I say this because when you have goals for your business, you know how you are actually going to run it, and where, because you're saying this business in 6 months needs to get here, I need to then apply A, B, C, D, E, F, G when it gets here, so that you're not caught off guard and you're not hearing about the next trend today, so that you want to implement it tomorrow, and right? And you also need to have sales targets. You guys know we talk about this so much on this channel. Do you have targets for your business? Do you say that, okay, this month I want to make 5K, this month I want to make 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, a million, whatever that target is for you? Do you have that? Because if you don't have those goals, those financial goals, those culture goals for your business, you actually are not going to make the money that you want, mainly because you don't have a step-to-step formula of how you're going to get there. And by there, do you even know where is there that you want to get into? So that becomes very, very important, is for you to set goals. And in as much as it is important for you to set goals for yourself, for your life, for, you know, everything around you, it is also important that your business, side hustle, whatever it is that you have in your life, you actually set goals for it. Okay. So these are the pointers that I wanted to share with you guys that for me have been so big. And like anything that I share on this channel, I always say that you need to take it, personalize it, and see how best you can move from it and how best you can apply that in your life. Because I always say this all the time. You can watch as many great YouTubers and all of these videos all you want, but until you actually start implementing the things that you're watching, only then are you going to start making a difference in your business, in your life, in your income, in your money. So application becomes very, very important. Applied knowledge is actually the key to success. So I hope that they were fruitful for you. I really hope that they they sparked a light bulb, and you actually will get a chance to reflect and kind of see, okay, where are you? What mistakes could you be making that you can actually start working through right now? Or what things did, this video open your mind up to? Let me know in the comment section below what you are struggling with, or if you've run a business before or tried to run a business and you've struggled with something that I probably did not mention and you want to share it with the audience below. Please, please, please go ahead. Don't forget to like this video if it really, really, really sparked a light bulb in you. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, I don't know what you're trying to do, but I need you to get your act together, okay? And subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell if you haven't, so that you're notified every time I put a video up. I've got super exciting things that are coming on this channel because a lot is about to change that I'm excited about. So you really, really, really want to be part of it. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah! Goodbye.